Okay, let's get to this weather forecasting for Saturday, June 8th at approximately 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can see down here near Hawaii, northwest of Hawaii. This is Hawaii right here. There's Honolulu. Those are the islands. Look at the size of this system. This could easily cover the entire islands and basically block out the sun. I hope that misses them. Let's see where it goes here. Let's turn on the animation and see where that thing goes. Looks like it's going continuing northeast, but that thing's angry. It's like an angry ocean snake. Look at that long tail. So thank God that thing's gonna miss Hawaii, hopefully. But you know, this kind of reminds me of those movies that came out in the late '90s, the superstorm movies about, you know, like The Day After Tomorrow. I don't know, some of those movies that kind of like show these super huge storms that covered the entire Earth. You know, how would you like to be on an island and have your entire island covered in a big storm, like all around you for miles? That'd be horrible. So USA, Alaska up here, it's got a little precipitation. It doesn't look like it's in the red, but there is some lightning. They've had rain weather alerts there for a few days. It's coming down here through Canada. This is another big, long, continuing system, and it's pushing. It looks like it's pushing cold air south there into the mountains of the Rocky Mountains. This is something I covered in a video earlier. This air is coming down here, and right in here for June, it is cold and snowing, according to this. So right now it looks like basically we've got Montana here. Montana's getting hit. Looks like this is more like Wyoming, South Dakota over here. And what is this? So this map, oh no, this is South Dakota over here. I really need an overlay on this because I'm trying to guess where the states are. Okay, so this thing right here is moving through North Dakota, and that's South Dakota. There's Sioux Falls, and that doesn't look that awesome. I mean, there's lightning. I mean, it doesn't look that bad either. Let's zoom in here and see where South Dakota ends. And so this is Montana. So it looks like the bulk of that is in Montana right there. Any cities, Billings, Montana, right in the middle of it. Wow. Okay. So they're getting some, and then along the skirts there, appears to be snow. Perhaps those are little snowflakes. And on the backside, this is still Montana over here. They're still getting snow. Let's turn it on to the temperature and see what we can find out. But before we do that, this would be Wyoming down here. So I don't know if this is hitting any cities here in Wyoming, but looks like kind of the upper left corner of the state there, kind of the mountain regions. Obviously, the snow is mainly going to be in the elevations. Looks like Yellowstone National Park. And this would be then next to Wyoming. This would be Idaho and Utah. Well, mainly Idaho right here, Twin Falls area. Just getting a little bit of the leftovers. This is still Montana up here in the mountains. So basically, it looks like the mountain. This is kind of the front range of the mountains right here. So let's turn it on the temperature here. We can see it's still really cool in those areas, in that basically that Yellowstone area. Those blue and greens are really cool. I don't know how cool. Let's find out. So you can still see below freezing there, 29. Right there's a 29. 27. So it's chilly, and those are probably the highest elevations. And you can see coming down into Nevada over here. It's still really cool for June 8th. 42s, 43s, 51s. California 62, 78, 73, 72 near LA. Coming down here into the southern deserts, 86s, 88s, 90s. They're probably happy. That's like a nice day for them when it's not like over 100 degrees. So these are some of the temps across the U.S. here. Middle states, we have a kind of a warmer phase going on over here. Southern Wisconsin, 80s. Northern Minnesota, 90. Wow. Or 89. That's getting pretty warm. So it's interesting, you know, how the temperatures. It's not always south is cooler. Sometimes north is cooler. So that gives you kind of an overview. So let's go to back to the precipitation radar and see what's coming up next. Actually, before we do that, let's take a look at what tomorrow's going to look like. Here's Sunday at 2 a.m. The overnight cools, 61 up there, Midwest, Wisconsin, Minnesota, 61 over there underneath the Great Lakes by Michigan and Ohio. Chicago 67, New York 50s. Whew, it's a little chilly up there. Up there by Boston 50, 75, North Carolina, warm, a little warmer down in Florida, 75, 82. Now these are still the overnights. 68 there in the middle of the country, 72. That's a nice temp. They might be getting rained out, but they're just getting some good temps. And then over on the West Coast, chilly, really chilly. 40s, 50s down here by, I guess this is Nevada, but Las Vegas is okay. Reno 49, perhaps 50s, and kind of cool temps over there in California. Portland, Seattle, 50s, and still in the Rocky Mountain area there, it's pretty chilly, 32 there. So that's overnight. Let's go to the precipitation and see where it's going to take us for the rest of Saturday. Start out here at 1 o'clock, and let's see where we're going. We've got that front moving through South Dakota, North Dakota, and it's dissipating. Now we're into Sunday. So let's rewind back to Saturday. 1 o'clock. Let's see what 4 o'clock looks like. This is a computer guess because it's not 4 o'clock yet. They're getting pounded down here, and this looks like another spinning rotational type storm. Let me turn this off real quick. Okay, that's a little better. So let's go back to 1 o'clock and look at this storm down here. I know some flights were canceled out of Atlanta today, and this is probably why. This is 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and dissipating. The computer thinks it's going to stay there till tomorrow. So let's go back to Saturday, 1 o'clock, and just watch it play through. Well, let's just move it ourselves. So there's 4 o'clock, computer guess, 7 p.m., computer guess. That thing is, the Rockies are still cold. That front's still moving through North Dakota, and down here, this huge area, almost going up to Chicago. Why did it change when we zoomed in? Well, it's not almost going up to Chicago. It's going from down here where, well, the entire coast of Florida, and then over here, Pensacola, and it's going all the way up to past Nashville, to Henderson and Evansville. That looks nasty right there. Now, this is Saturday at 7 p.m., though, so this is still a guess. The computer's guessing. So, let's see, 22, that's 10 p.m. Looks like that. And now into Sunday, 1 a.m. Looks like the snow's dissipating over there. This thing is getting meaner, but it's still kind of in the same place over South Dakota, North Dakota, and down into Kansas. So Sunday 4 a.m. Sunday 10 p.m. So that's the forecast. Take it with a grain of salt. I believe these computer models are flawed because they programmed into them a gradual warming of the climate, and we're not seeing a gradual warming of the climate. We're seeing a gradual cooling, actually a pretty fast cooling. Okay, so that's forecasting for the rest of Saturday and into Sunday. Now let's change sources and see what this radar is going to show us for future prediction. Real quick over the United States. Kind of slowly looks like it's kind of dissipating on this model. All of those areas, which is good. Let's zoom in. Yeah, that doesn't look as significant, but still going right through Atlanta. Pensacola looks pretty bad. Now this is Saturday, 5:25. This is a much easier map to see where it is actually. South Dakota, North Dakota, kind of moving northward. And the snowy mountains over here, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana. By the time we get to Saturday at, let's see, the end of the guess here, it's 9:50, and it's saying we're still gonna be getting snow, still cold, but that's mountain elevations. Still, June 3, mountain elevation snows. That's a recipe for glacier building, meaning snow that never melts. And when it does melt, all of the downhill areas, you got to be ready for flooding. So let's go to the uh, the weather alerts and see what's out there. These are the severe weather alerts for the United States on June 8, 2019. Now, these might not be all of the alerts. I can't cover all of them. There's too many. Hawaii looks clear. Alaska clear. We've got that same, we'll start on the West Coast, that same small craft advisory over here on the West Coast. That's been in effect for a while. Turbulent seas. California wind advisory is very windy. It's been that way for weeks. Plus a heat advisory there. The temps look pretty cool when I looked at them. Excessive heat watch. Fresno, San Francisco. Looks like right there we might have some of that mountain melting flood advisory. Let's go up to Nevada still. The flood advisory is there. Oregon and Northern California, frost advisory. So we got severe heat in the south and frost in the north. Seattle, small craft advisory, even inland like that, in the Bay Area. Those are turbulent seas, strange temperatures in seas. Idaho, here's a mountain runoff, Ketchum Harvey, that's been in flood for a while. Idaho Falls, freeze warning all through here because of those snows that we just saw. All in this area. Pocatello, Rexburg, Rigby, flooding. Bozeman, winter weather advisory. Winter weather advisory on June 3rd. Now this looks like a mountain area, but you can see what's going to happen when all of this winter snow from June 3rd starts to melt. Where is it going? Here. But these people are used to this. They're tough, but it's going here and then here, and then from there it's going here. So Livingston, I predict you better get your boats ready. Not trying to be mean or insensitive, just prepare. There wouldn't be flooding if we didn't build in areas that flood, right? It would just be something that happened. We could just watch from a distance. So, they know what they're doing there. They've been through this stuff, but it is increasing. The climate trend is increasing. It is getting more extreme and more severe. We are getting colder and wetter. What do we got here? Flood watch, Pueblo, Colorado. This does not look good. I haven't seen this before. So it's part of the mountains here. This is probably mountain runoff. We should, if I had more time, I would check some cams there to see what's going on. But this looks significant because it's a large area and it's downhill from the mountains. That's because we've had record snowpack all through the summer, it's summer now, and all through the spring, and the ski hills, ski resorts have been staying open because there's so much snow. The roads and the mountains have been closed because there's so much snow. Now the stuff is melting, and where's it going? It's going downhill. So you can see there's a river right there. River runs through her. Creed getting hit right there. You can see how the water's running off. You can see the grooves right there. Coming down here, coming down here. There's a river, and it's going to join into here. Now, at one time, this whole entire area from here to here was filled with water, and they're basically drawing it for you. Now, if it was filled with water at one time, it's probably going to be filled with water again. So what do? We'll build roads there, build an airport there, Mineral County Memorial Airport. So it's the way it is. So our job is to get the word out and help people be aware and not get hit off guard. What do we got here? Severe thunderstorm watch, Hastings, Nebraska. I don't think I saw that. Oh yeah, you know why? Because that's part of the system. Looks like it's North Dakota and South Dakota right now. It's part of the system that's here, and it looks like it's moving this way. That's why. So they've got that. Fargo, severe thunderstorm watch because of that line that's moving through there with all the lightning that we saw. Fargo, Grand Forks, special weather statement. Special weather statement for Duluth. I wonder what that is. Special weather statements. Let's look it up. Duluth, Minnesota, 66 degrees, 10% chance of rain. 8-mile-an-hour winds. Special weather statement. Near critical fire weather conditions today. Gusty southerly winds combined with low relative humidities will combine to cause critical fire weather conditions. So don't burn stuff. Conditions could improve after 7. Yeah, especially if that line of thunderstorms comes through there. Then they won't have to worry about it. I'm surprised they have to right now anyways with all the water that they've had and flooding. Now this is interesting. Oh no, I thought the... So let's see what this blue patch is here. I'm sure this is river flooding. No, special weather statement. Must be a double up, like 2 of them, Goodland, Kansas, and then next to it is Goodland, Kansas. All right, well, we're not going to check that. I don't have time right now. Dallas, air quality. Austin, air quality. San Antonio, Corpus Christi, excessive heat. Didn't see that on the temp map. Severe weather alert, excessive heat, Edinburgh. You know, they've got so many extreme situations going on. They have to double up and triple up these advisories on top of each other. All right, there's all those little green lines. That's all still river flooding. The Mississippi River has been at flood stage for over, 180 days, I think. And I'm guessing, but if I remember correctly, and it's been at flood stage longer than the Great Mississippi River Basin flood of 1924, which there was a YouTuber that covered that really well. I wish I remembered his name. Sky something. I'll try to get it later. But reportedly, the Arkansas River during that time widened to 80 miles wide. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that's possible. After that, they started building all these dams and spillways and all these kinds of things. So now it's at flood stage, but it's, things are different. You can't compare apples and oranges, right? So still, this whole northern half of Minnesota's fire watch. But when this thing comes through a little later, I don't think they're still going to be in fire watch. Doesn't really look like it's even hitting Nebraska or Kansas down there. And it doesn't really look like it's going to get too much of Minnesota either. But that surprises me that it's that dry there. So back to our severe weather alerts. We've got this thing going across up here, Marquette, Michigan. Now that's across the Great Lakes, so I'm not sure what that would be. So we're going to look it up. Okay, Marquette, Michigan, 83 degrees, 10% chance of rain, winds from the southeast at 13 miles per hour. Elevated wildfire potential across upper Michigan today due to a combination of gusty winds, very dry air mass, 80 degrees, humidity low. Now, this is from the DNR, and I think they put it in the wrong place because, oh no, I'm wrong. That's right. I thought that was across the water. It's not. It's just so blue, it looked like the water. So that's the upper Michigan Peninsula. They're right on. Good. Looks like the Great Lakes. Now the Great Lakes are officially rising, or they're elevated according to the government. I'll try to do a video on that and get that information out, but that's pretty serious. High Great Lake water levels supposed to be rising. High Mississippi River Basin water levels rising. Snowpacks building in the Rockies in June. Read the signs. Flash flood watch. Louisville, Kentucky expires Monday. Now this is a huge area for a flash flood watch. This whole green cell here. Let me turn off the there. You can see that a little clearer now. Kentucky, basically, the entire state of Kentucky is under a flash flood watch. Now that is ridiculous, and we need to read the details on that. And fittingly, I just had to look up Kentucky, and the entire state is under a flash flood watch. Thunderstorms will continue. Flash flood watch remains in effect through Sunday evening. Central Kentucky through Sunday evening. Showers, thunderstorms, heavy rainfall. Now, the radar is not showing that that's coming, I don't think, unless it's coming up from down south here. Yeah, I guess that was the model that was predicted, but I don't know if it's all the way up there. Meanwhile, we got, let's see, Atlanta flash flood. Oh my gosh. Do you see how big of an area that this is covering? When you combine all of this area, surface area together, you know where I don't want to be. I'll show you. I don't want to be in here in between those two flash flood areas. But okay, so this is all a big flash flood watch. This is all a big flash flood watch. That's a lot of brain cells there under flash flood watch. And this probably is too. Flash flood watch, Tallahassee, Florida. Guys, you got to be ready. I mean, this stuff is coming. You know, you got to see the signs. You know, let's recap. We haven't even gotten across the entire country yet. But let's recap. We got freezing temps here, heat advisory here. We've got turbulent seas. We've got thunderstorm activity here. Air quality down here. I don't even. Okay. We've got flooding here, flooding here, flooding here, flooding here. So this whole area is flooding, basically. I mean, it's not like it's all underwater, but it's all being threatened. So you got to be aware and you got to be ready and have your emergency action plan in place. The FEMA most recently put out a report recommending that you have 6 months of food and water ready. So small craft, turbulent seas, riptides, strange temperatures, and I'm going to do a video. I want to do a video on that too. Over here, Boston, we've got special weather advisories. I'm not sure what those are. It's North Beach Hazard Statement. The heck? Because Portland, Maryland, north of Boston, National Weather Service cold water safety message. Air temperatures this week in the 70s, 80s. Okay, but the water is cold. That's what they're saying. Excuse me. Beach hazard statement. Beach hazard, winds, cold water temps. Now, I want to do a video on that. It has to do with plastic. If it's true, it's something really to think about. And, you know, I hope I start getting some views because we all need to be aware of this. I mean, we don't need to sit there and worry about it and bite our nails, but we need to watch it each day, keep our eyes on it, and have our plans ready and in place. All right?